Hey everyone, this is GeoWill from FM Production Squared, and we're back to continue recording for Odyssian Void for our 14th Developers Vlog. So when we last left off the other day, because it has been about a day, excuse me, I decided to just stop recording for that night because just was not getting any cooler in this room, and it's really kicking the crap out of me. But I have continued my research into this, and I have not been able to figure out why it's still coming up like this. And as a matter of fact, I could not find a single reference as to this happening anywhere, period, on the internet, or at least from Google. Or so might not be properly searching for the thing, terms correctly, but I have found an interesting bit of tech, or whatever you might want to say, searching for variable return types. There's a class in Boost called Variant, and it can do some pretty cool things. So essentially what it allows you to do is to create a function that can take different actions depending on the type that the type of data that's passed to it. So it's not so much that its return type is variant, it's that the what gets executed depends on the code itself. From what I can see though, void class some class, or class some func. No, it still has to return. No, the return type's still not variant. There's some way that was using it up here, though. So you have a variant, class 1, class 2 object. So my class 1 object, class 2 object. So class 1 dot, or not dot, but class 1, whatever that's for, x. So if star x, I think it's a pointer x, equals boost get class 1 object, code for class 1. So maybe not quite what I'm looking for. Let's see what the next one is. Let's see. That's probably the one we were just looking at, yeah. It's fugly. Code smell? What the hell is that? Code smell. And it says return type, variable return type. So why are all the examples I'm finding not returning a type? They're all void. It's like what the frick, you know? It's about variable return types, not about returning nothing. Let's see. String operator. Again, here we go. All strings, which is not what we're talking about. We want to have a variable return type that returns different types, hence variable return type. Return different types. Let's see if we have anything better over here. Function overloading. Templates. Being how creative you are. You can use templates to do that? How? Alright, let's see. Keyword this. Static members, const members, class templates, template specialization. Huh. Hey, this is what we're looking for. So let's see. Say template class team, my class T, class, my container element T. Well, that's classes. Once again, we want to use functions to return different types of return types. Const member fun. Let's see. Functions. Shit. So still not quite what we're looking for. So you may just have to make a bunch of functions, and there may be no way to do it. Yeah, screw it. It's taking too much time. We're wasting too much time. Too much muda. Muda? Yeah, muda's waste. Again, people that work with that Syntel just maybe chuckle at that. Muda's the Japanese word for waste, and it's one of the 3 major words we've had to learn for lean, I think it was. Because in lean is like half Japanese terms. Muda, Mura, Marie, Murai, however it's pronounced. Then you have things like crap, I can't remember any of the other ones, like for the 6 S's or 5 S's or the whatever's. It's all soup. It's just all you have to. That's all you have to know. It's all soup. All the S's are soup. So frack off to this idea, because we're just gonna do our general frickin' thing where we just go stupid with it. So the problem is going to be how to differentiate between them, because or maybe we just have to make one frickin' function and then just have it have a specific thing, pass the storage value we want by reference and load it that way. Just frack everything else. Just do it like these. Because even if we did it this way, if we did int float, we'd still have to have some sort of differentiation in the parameters, because again, the compiler is not going to know if we use just this, for int and float, which one we want, because it's going to say, okay, int or float. Well, the call that you're doing has a string and a string in it. Well, CI data int has a string and a string parameter in the declaration. Float has a string and a string in the declaration, and then you get into this kind of infinite loop of which one do I pick, and the compiler, starts bitching at you. So we're just gonna say void and avoid that mess. Get it? The pun? Void. Yeah, no, it sucked. But and we're gonna pass by reference. Well, let's see. Here's the thing. Ah, almost right. We can use a template for this though. Type name F for the 4-letter word, and yes, I mean Frel. So T and what do we call this? I don't know what's going on. Frack. What did Dren to call this? No, let me call it Dren. No. Yeah, this Dren. Set this Dren to this. If you want to know what Dren means, look up Dren Farscape and type Dren Farscape into Google. Okay, return data. We'll say our data, for one of a frickin' better term. But this is technically what's happening. We're returning the data as a fixed thing. You know. Well, you know what I mean. You know what it's supposed to be. Or putting it into what it's supposed to be put into, rather, I should say. And then returning the data by reference inside of the function without actually having to return. You can do the same thing with pointers, but that gets a little bit crazier because then, well, technically no. All you do is put a pointer operator in front of the variable you want to return, and you do it that way. But this way is a little bit better because you don't have to use the pointer. So I think that's all we have to do. Of course, I think and what is reality are two different things entirely, and generally that's what happens, and we end up having just tons of crap happening because of that. So it has to be fixed. But that's just how programming goes. No one can ever memorize every single stupid quirk about a programming language, and so that's why you just try shit and see what happens. And if it works, yes. And if it doesn't, then, well, over to Google you go, and you'll probably end up at Stack Overflow. So maybe you should just go to Stack Overflow in the first place. So we're going to go over to our, well, actually we can just do this. Go to definition. Damn you. I want to go to the definition. I don't want to go to the, I guess the definition is not right with the thing, so we have to do the thing over here with that thing. Yeah, so let's go void. And what the hell did I do? Load. Then we have to pass the T and our data. So, no more return types because it's void. Although, let's do it this way. Our data equals, instead of having to retype out everything, let's just go our data instead of return. Boom. Mine equals blown. Or that's boom headshot. Mine equals blown. So that should do. And it's still giving me shit because I don't have the thing here to type whatever needs to be passed. Type is float, and it's going to, who the hell knows? So AS1 multi, that's what it's going to. Okay. And we actually no longer have to do that either, do we? Sweet. Yes, it has no longer got the red squiggly line of death. We have one. So CI data, we're going to pass through now AS2 AS multi, as to as. Again float, and again AS2 multi. And when I can frickin' hit the I without hitting the U, we can continue. Or the L, the semicolon's not hitting the L. But seriously, these keyboards have to work. They make me want to go frickin' crazy German kid on them. I don't know if you've seen that YouTube video or not with a German kid that's getting his ass kicked at Counter-Strike or something. And he just goes, essentially he's raping his keyboard, I think is the best way to put it. He's smashing onto his desk, there's keys flying everywhere, it's just general total man. I feel like doing that to the frickin' keyboard at work. And bring my own and say, you know what, fire me if you want to, but your keyboard sucks shit. And no human being with any level of intelligence would stand using them for more than 10 seconds. And they're not programming keyboards whatsoever. And they're just so annoying. Especially for people like me that, you know, say typing sucks, you know, actual typing. I'd rather hunt peck type, where I just totally, you know, blow away the notion that in order to type fast on the keyboard you have to be a typist with your, you know, key position, finger positions on whatever the hell they're supposed to be on, and just go, ugh, like that. Just, you know, essentially keyboard diarrhea. Just now instead I want to do the fun version where you never know if you're going to hit your key or not until you do, like this. Okay, so float, exactly, see, just like that. The K instead of the L, or the K with the L, or the A instead, S instead of the A. It just makes things so much more fun, because you never know what you're going to get. And then you have to go back and retype stuff, and it's just so much fun. There's like a certain way I have to be in order to properly type on a keyboard. I need to, like, maybe get a freaking atomic measurement device or something to get precise measurements on distances, and like physically fix a chair to the floor and that distance away from the keyboard. So I don't know, too much. That's too much work. I'll just suffer through it. Let's see. So we got all those. I don't know if we have any other things we have to do with that, like what other values are going to be singled out like that. But let's figure it out here. Are there any other single values not in the asteroid data? But there may be in some other places, like here or here, where we will need to do that. So that's has one purpose here, but it can be used other places as well. So that'll work. So now what we need to do is to just do the normal stuff with this other stuff. Use the range, whatever, to get that stuff. So, set range, and the range we want to set is, well, we have to use temp ranges, don't we? That's right. All this stuff is, all the things we're using for asteroid data is temporary, because it's all going to go into a vector of the G struct type, A data. Where is this? Here we go. So we're going to do that. The ID range now. So the range is AS1 AS1 OIDR, OS2 OIDR. So AS1 OIDR. No, the freaking thing we're passing, which is AS1 OID range. And the split parameter, and then the type, which is int. Ta-da! You know what? I don't know why the hell I'm doing this. It'd be so much easier because, I mean, the things are exactly the same except for maybe 2 characters. So instead of typing the whole thing out, I should just be doing this instead of typing it all out like a friggin' retarded llama or something. Oh, shazit. We got a problem. Because I probably typoed. Oh yeah, see, boom. It still says 1. So you got things like that that can happen. Well, that's not the one I want, or, well, is it? What the hell's going on? O-I-R-D. Oh, okay, I was missing a D on that one. Oh, there's 2 problems then. I solved a problem unintentionally. That reminds me, there's this hilarious answer to a test question. It's something like, what are, I forget what it was exactly, but it's talking about bugs and things, things that would get through the development testing process. Like maybe, things that would be unexpected behavior. That was it. That was I think that was the base term I was using. What is unexpected behavior? Or something like that. And one of the answers to the question was undocumented features. And so everybody is using that now. So whenever somebody finds a bug in a program, we're just going to say, oh, that's an undocumented feature. We just added that in for you. Just, make your lives a little bit more fun. Because you never know. Maybe you put in something and you get a blue screen. That's an undocumented feature. Because then you have to restart, and it gives you some extra stuff to do rather than typing your life away in front of a computer. And also gives your tech department something to do. Trying to figure out what the hell happened to give you the blue screen. So, it's extra work or extra fun stuff for everyone to do. Okay, so we got that. Now we need to do the range for the size multiplier, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, ASR3, ASR stupid, whatever it is. As 3 as range, as number as range. So we're going with that. And I'm a real asshole for making these stupidly long things. It'd be so much easier just to do something like this, but I don't know. And this isn't even properly done anyway. You would never do all lowercase if you're doing camel case for other things, because that's, asymmetric name. What the name? I can't even remember what. I hate when this happens. You're thinking of something, and all of a sudden you lose the word entirely. It's just like poof, gone. Some leprechaun came in and stuck their friggin' arm into your ear, rummaged around in your brain, and ripped a chunk out. And that chunk, unfortunately, had the word you were trying to find in it, and now you can't even think of it anymore. Convention. There you go. I don't know why leprechauns ripping out people's brains made me think of the word convention, but it did, so I'm not complaining. Because asymmetrical naming conventioneering. Yes, I am trademarking that word. And it just, looks really messy. But in this case, it gives a frack. I don't. And frack anyone who does. No. So set range AS1 AS. Yeah, see, this is a normally named variable. AS1 ASR. Of course, Dylan would say, what the hell? You don't even know what that is, but to me, that's normally named. And then you say something like AS1 AS range. I guess that's still somewhat, normal. And it's not like this freaking thing up here where you got. Oh well, I guess no. It is the same, isn't it? These are both the same. It's just the last word is spelled all the way out. But these are properly capitalized in lowercase and camel case formation. I guess formation could work there. Though the grammar Nazi in me wants me to, shoot myself in the foot for saying formation. But the grammar Nazi in me can shut the hell up right now. Because we are not worried about grammar, because there's no such thing as grammar in programming. Unless you're talking about the comments. And it's going to be, no, float. Float, not an int. Although I could put int, and we'd see some spectacular errors that would pop up from that. But, no. Because creating errors for just the hell of it is... Well, actually, it could be fun, really. But not in this case, because it just wouldn't be. And again, I'm going to type out everything just to change 2 characters. Or I could just do it, simply as 3 or 4, 6 different things, just 2 copies and 2 changes per line. Instead of typing in, 60 characters or whatever again. Times 2, so 120 characters, wasting a minute. So I think that's everything, really. Let me see. Well, not everything, but everything for the types, specifically. All this other data, like this data here, is all going to be, used by game and not by any particular type or stuck in a struct or anything. It's just going to be loaded up in game as a GV colon whatever the variable name is and loaded in that way. So we still have to deal with, though, the range of the number of asteroids that can be in each belt, and then the belt size range values. Again, those are ranges themselves, but well, yeah, I guess they're ranges, so we could just do it that way. And then we'll have to go in and put all this data into a vector, into that vector. That shouldn't be too hard. I'm just, every time I do look at some stuff like this, I'm trying to think of ways that people could, fuck it up. Pardon my French. And one way that I think of, if I ever implement a variable type of thing, having a variable number of ore stages, this wouldn't really work because we'd have to have it go by, a variable number of stages. And it's just, it's that kind of stuff that it keeps me awake at night, this kind of stuff. Just thinking about, well, what if somebody comes in and tries to add a fourth type of ore, or maybe, 8 more types of ore, and they try to do this and it just crashes the game. What's going to happen? It just keeps me awake at night, for nights on end. No, not really, but it makes me just take a second and pause, or maybe more than a second, and think up of, well, if I need to change this later, maybe I should do it now? And then I say, well, no, I can put it off till later when the code is extremely complicated, more than it is now. And that'll be fine. I could implement this change in maybe 10 seconds. And then what turns into something like now, where that change might have taken, maybe an hour or two for the whole thing, now takes like 15 days because the code is so monstrously large and the things you're changing are so ingrained into it that you have to change half of your code. And that's just kind of what happens. It's the procrastination virus. And then the resulting procrastination ass-kicking because of that virus. So I'll just leave it like this and we'll deal with it later. Because I just like to rewrite code lots of times. So what we're going to do now is we're going to deal with the other two values for asteroid belts. Actually, that was asteroid belts, huh? Interesting. Not specifically asteroids, but I guess I folded them both into the same thing. Huh. That's very interesting. I'm not going to change it, it's just, I find that interesting. It wouldn't really be too hard to change, though. I mean, only would necessitate changing the section that's in, and then changing maybe, one or two things up in the parameter list for the options that are being imported. But again, I'll do that later. Or I'll save it for later because you never know, I might have just an abundance of time to waste on one day and have to fill that time with rewriting half of the code. So I'm going to do a set range and then go AS. No, it's not going to be AS, it's going to be something else. So RBAA mount. So RBA amount. Then RB. What the hell's the RP range to RB amount? That is freaking weird. And that is an int. Yeah, I knew I was forgetting something. What was I missing? It's RP, not B. What the frick? Then again, to be fair, the P is really just the B flipped upside down, or the B is the P flipped upside right. Upside right. Turned reversed upside down. So, it's maybe an easy thing to mistake. I don't know. Just like the D is then a flipped horizontally then flipped vertically B, or whatever it is for the P, flipped vertically then flipped horizontally P. So, you know, it's just the D, B, and P, they're all the same. Technically. It's just, the, you know, the perspective shifts, but they're all the same character. Yeah. So this one is, I think, slightly more correct. It's, yeah, RBS range and then RB size. That's just lowercase RB, RBP, BPDs, not the uppercase ones. Uppercase ones are totally freaking different. RBS range. Int as well, and good. Okay, so I think that covers that. Now we need to say set up a data vector. You know, maybe we should, I don't know, is there any kind of situation where this would happen? Well, I used to have ID proc down here. Holy crap. Hang on, came out of nowhere. I used to have this down here, and I've kind of co-opted the ID proc for other things, but I used to do all this stuff in here. Of course, this is like completely messed up now. Well, let me see. How maybe. Oh yeah, definitely. You've completely just kind of usurped that for something else now. To do. Oh, so I can, yeah, reuse them later instead of using temp 1, 3, you know, 4, yeah, so using temp 4 and 5 and 6. Reuse 1, 2, and 3 later on somehow. Where in the hell is the, oh, here it is. Okay, I forgot I reordered them. See, like down here is where we're doing it there. See, we don't need that drain anymore. I love these freaking sci-fi shows that give you alternative ways to swear. If I could swear in Klingon, I would. I have to go look it up though. Although that would be handy, because I always wonder what Picard swore. You know, used to what Picard said to that Klingon during that one episode where they're dealing with the Romulan invasion, or Romulans helping the Duras family during the Civil War. Where the Klingon says to Picard, "You swear well, Picard. You must have Klingon blood." So, doubles, which we can now use, because we can, for no other reason than we can. S2F, because some reason S2F is doubles instead of floats. And it's actually A to F, not S to F. But yeah, that still doesn't find it. I was thinking, well, maybe I was trying S to D instead of A to F like an idiot. Well, that's not the case. You see it returns a double instead of a float, even though it's an array of characters to float. It returns a double. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, Microsoft's logic, I guess. Well, you want to float? Well, screw you. We're going to give you a double instead. Because doubles are better for you. So that's what you're going to do, and you're going to like it, and you're going to complain about it, and we're not going to give any fracks this day, or whatever day you complain about it, because we are Microsoft. So I want to create another function. And I want to call it void setup a vect. what's it give me? Okay, it's just a normal IntelliSense freaking out until the line is finished error thing showing up. So we call setup AD vect. Don't have to pass anything, because everything's a member of the namespace, so we just access it directly instead of having to pass it. And void a setup AD vect. So now, again, it's going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be a lot more complicated when we do the variable number of or types or stages, but for now it's going to be kind of simple. All we have to do is just take each individual value and set it to one of the appropriate range in the struct struct element of the vector. So we just say a data dot push back what did I name it? A data, or is it something else? That was a data. I gotta find the damn thing first. Where the hell did I put it at? Did I even define it over here yet? Probably not. I know I defined it over here though. Oh, GPA data. Yes, GPA. Grade point average data. No, not really. So vector A data GPA data. Then we have ADTs for the pushing back. GPA data. Pushback AD. And you don't like it. Why? Because you're IntelliSense, and IntelliSense is stupid. Even though it's supposed to be intelligent sensing stuff. So all we have to do is push it back once, then just do the whole size -1 trick. So GPA data dot at GPA data dot size -1 dot v range 1. What is that anyway? V range 1. So that's but it's not even gonna tell me what the hell the thing is it? Dot ILO equals because that's the ID range. Gotcha. So AS1 OIDR.ILO. Do the same thing but use I high. And then vrange 2, which is the size, and it's a float, so I want to use F. And AS1 ASR.F low. F high. And then finally the multi. Which equals AS1 multi. And boom, you're done. Excuse me. So we just do that 3 more times. And all we have to do now is change one value. And that's this value. You have to change it 5 times now. That was pretty simple. Even a lot more simple with the replace thing, but we'll just do it by hand because it was a little quicker. So I think that's it. We're done with that data. Put that data in its place. It's been bad data. Had to be punished. Now let's skip back up here and do the stuff for game here. So we skipped over that stuff. So this is fine, this is fine. This we need to fix. And this we need to fix. So now, back over here. That's global vars. So this is, again, data for the game, so we don't have to worry about it specifically. And once again, we need to kind of explode this out because this is not complete anymore. So extern string really? Right, because that's going to be determined by your skills now. True. So we need to change this over here. The maximum so 15 and 25 I think is what we decided. Because this is going to be exclusively for the text version of the game. However, the text version of the game is going to have skills. I'm planning to implement those in 0.8. And the time it takes to train them up will be dependent on the number of turns that we've gone through. But this kind of stuff won't necessarily be the same kind of used in the same way in the full version of the game. You know, the 1.0 version of the game. Now I can get rid of that frickin' 2D that's probably been there for forever. Awesome. So string PM scan, because I want to start making these make sense instead of being just random crap. Just like this one's going to be extern string. What the hell? That was strange. What the hell? Well, that is really odd. Right as I was about to go and push the key, a moth flew between my finger and the key, and I got trapped there for half a second before I let it go. That was hilarious. What the frick? What are the odds of that happening? String, SM scans, right? For this, and we gotta do the same thing for this too. Then extern string, dispo range, extern string, the fill range. Okay. I'm just gonna take this. We're gonna copy paste it and just paste it in over here because I'm lazy like that. Let's take the externs out manually here. I'd probably be able to go through this and find like 30 different places where we have things over in the header file that don't exist in this list here. But again, I'm gonna make this thing so much easier to you know, kind of check because I'm gonna be switching. Going to be grouping everything by their type instead of by what they're for. So it'll be easier to figure out what's where and what's not there. We'll do it by type and then by alphabetical order. So, for example, INS planets would be before our INT stations in that list. So up here, we go to fix some crap. Also gonna go ahead and fix this stuff too while I'm here. So a whole bunch of that's wrong now. Same with this. Fix that stuff now. Where's the game values? Here we go. So, no more. It's all gonna be strings now, really. Well, you know, no. We don't need to change these because these don't have any operations required on them. It's just these. So the single value ones we don't need to do jack for. Well, I don't know. No, say the importing stuff will automatically change those values, I believe, to whenever you're importing them as. So no, yeah, these single ones that we have, we can just leave them what they are and pass them directly to those values. These other ones, though, no. We need to do them differently. So no, these can still be ints. And we get rid of that crap we just made down here. Same with the asteroid stuff too. Let's go ahead and fix this crap because that's ridiculous. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Anything that has a single value, which is very few things at this point. Maybe that's why, because not most of the stuff I'm doing now has, you know, things needed. So SC types, for example, and WC types. We just can do those directly into and ML types, just directly into what they need, what's needed for those. So. Well, I do these ones correctly. That's interesting. But these other ones, I guess I just kind of got stupid with that. Yeah, so we don't need those, but we do with these. So those are ranges. Well, no, yeah, if the planet, well, it's planet stuff, not asteroid stuff. Like the multis, you know, we don't need this crap because it's a single value. Frickin' A. Stupido asshole. Okay, I think that's all the changes we need to make. Now we need to go back over here and make those same changes down here, and then change some other stuff too. Where are you? Here. Don't need you. You can screw right off and frack you. Then we can destroy you and burn you in a burning pit of fire. We don't need you either, so everything should be good now. Except for the actual data we're doing. Well, let's see, this stuff, this is right, but we don't need these things up here now where we did those. Don't need you, so screw off as well. And I think that's the only thing we really changed, I think. Or the game related values, but we didn't change anything with those yet up there, so we're fine with that. So up here now, so the planet names is a single value. Yeah. So PSVRSTR, that's for the size, random range. So PVRSTR, PRR range. Let's see what the frick is going on. PR range is not identified. Well, great. So why not? What's going on here? Planets related values. We seem to be missing some. Why are we missing some? Where did they go? And why? Well, for one, because we haven't actually done any of the coding for that yet, have we? That's true. I think we added something in there somewhere, I think. But I'm not entirely sure. So it's going to be a single vector. But we're not going to have the type because there are going to be multiple types. That's right, so it's this one here. Alright. Yeah, so we actually haven't done the coding for that, and that's why we haven't added in those variables yet, and that's why there's no other errors anywhere else. So this is actually stuff that I've added changed, and then we have to, compensate to make the changes for that. Okay, so we're keeping that as it is. These things, though, yeah. Okay, so we need to add. Let's see. Let's do this. Kind of hokey and ridiculous, but I think this will be easier in a way. Or at least I'm perceiving it as easier, though it probably isn't. To get all these things into somewhere so we can properly get these values for. I could just paste them right into the header file, but I guess I'm doing it this way for whatever reason. Because not using the task or text bad enough in this video, so we're just going to arbitrarily use it here. Alright, then we get to select all this, and then come back over here, and then put it over here. So, planet-related values, good. So I'm going to do an extern string on all these, so let's do this. Actually, no, I want to have the space as well. What the hell? Well, that was bloody interesting. I have not seen that before. It must be like control home or something that brings that up. That is very interesting. Oops. No, you frickin' moron. Cursor. Now I wait for IntelliSense to catch up. Good. Now we can just kind of port all these back over to here. And, oh, so close. Let's remove the freaking externs. Okay, this is so ridiculous. I have to redeclare like this. Shouldn't have to. Alright, and we're good. So that's not going to be giving me any crap anymore. Now I need to do the same for asteroids. So... what the frick? So I actually had them as ranges? That's interesting before. It's interesting and ridiculous at the same time. Or no, that's not ridiculous. That is what it's supposed to be. Never mind. It was actually a range before. Now we're importing them as not a range. So all these except for the multis are going to be strings, I think, for the asteroid data. Yeah. Okay. RP range. Importing a string. Okay, what the hell am I calling that one again? RBS range, yeah, weird. Wonder why I wasn't showing up for. AS1 OID range. And of course we're missing that. Don't need that. Another thing is it also minimizes what we need to bring into the program doing it this way too, so it saves CPU cycles and accessing hard drive accesses, which for SSDs is important because SSDs the way they're accessed or rated for length is by the number of file accesses. So for example,